All right, everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of the one and only Crash Course. You know it well, right? We've been around now for a long time. Started out on the radio, and now we're doing podcasts. I'm totally psyched to be here. Hey, we got a great show today. I know it's been a while since we shot a new episode, so I'm psyched. I got a lot of stuff to unpack here. I think I always have a lot of stuff to unpack, but at any rate, we do have a guest. All right, I know I've been promising you a guest. All right, I've been speaking about it, trying to change the format. Right, we try and keep it loose here, try and keep it interesting, and with that in mind, moving forward into 25, we're looking to do a lot more of that. All right, so we're really fortunate today that we have a guest with us, Donna from V&J. And Donna is an intricate part of the success of V&J Auto Body. So we're really excited to have Donna with us here. All right. And so we're going to get to that in just a minute. All right. We'll start talking to Donna a little bit about what she does there and what her job definition is and how she contributes to the business. All right. Speaking of business, V&J Auto Body is our amazing sponsor, right? They've been with us since the beginning, so thank you very much to James Arone and Chandler Arone. Really appreciate your support, guys. All right, folks, you've heard me speak about this many times. V&J Auto Body, what can I say, right? They are an industry leader, all right, bar none. V&J Auto Body is what I like to say, a future-oriented shop, all right? They have one eye on the present, one eye down the road, all right? They're always looking at the future, looking for ways to grow and be more competitive. V&J Auto Body, if you're looking for a state-of-the-art facility, you can't look any further than V&J, all right? They are the highest certified shop out there in Suffolk County. I would say probably Nassau County as well. This, of course, is Long Island. I know we hit a lot of people out there, so just bear with us here. I know I've gotten calls from people up in Syracuse, New York, up in Albany, New York. All right. I really appreciate everybody, following us. I appreciate everybody keep on telling everybody about what we're doing here. Apparently, we're doing a great thing. I think we do a great thing. I know I do a great thing, but I think we've been doing a lot of good. All right. It's going back from when we first launched Crash Course, all right, on the radio, all right, to where we're at today. I think what happens here is good, right? I like to say all the time that we're looking out for the folks, right? And if you've been following us for a long time, what do I like to say? Right? Everybody knows the mantra by now. Come on. We're giving you information and knowledge you need and can use, and most importantly, advice you can trust. All right. And that's never more important than today. All right, folks, you just got to look around. You know what I'm talking about. Disinformation, misinformation, no information, bad information, right? You got everything but good in there. Okay, but over here at Crash Course, we're only giving you good, and we're giving you advice you can trust. All right, and it's unbiased. It really is. All right, it's unfiltered. And the most important thing is it's free. So you can come here and get smart and get stuff, and we don't charge you. I mean, who's better than that, right? Crash Course. Free stuff. You'll be the smartest person in the room when it comes to speaking about insurance-related issues, body shop. And listen, I know it's not coffee table fare. I know, and you're not going to be at a barbecue, and you're not going to be sitting around breaking out a brewski and say, hey, I looked at my insurance policy today, and I wanted to talk about that. That's not going to happen, right? Just ain't going to happen. I know it. All right, so that's why we do that for you. I like to say I read the things you don't want to read, and I listen to the things you don't want to listen to, and then I come here and I give you the stuff that I think you need to know. All right, and the stuff that you need to know is what we've been talking about for a long time now, all right? It involves you and your insurance company. And, folks, I can't stress it enough, all right? Listen up. And I've said this on and on. I'm going to keep saying this. Your insurance company, okay, it kills me because people don't take enough interest in this. Folks, you pay for this. This is shit that you pay for. We all pay for. Every month you write the check out. I don't know, maybe some of you write it out every year. I mean, if you're fortunate enough, not me. I'm a poor bastard. I got to write the check out every month.
Oh my God.
But did I? Hello? I heard something.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, that's the guest. The guest is already speaking up. We got some guests here today. We'll get to that guest in just a second here. But anyway, I digress. And, as I was saying about the insurance company, folks, you got to take an interest in this shit. I mean, you're paying for this. It would be, I always think it's like paying for the doctor or paying for a car, and you don't even give a damn. You just go in, you plop down money, and off you go, and you could care less, right? That doesn't happen, right? That never happens on anything that you pay for that you're interested in. But for some reason with insurance, right? I guess we just look at it as I got to have it. I can't live without it. The government says I got to have it to drive the car. The bank says I got to have it to live in the house. This guy says I need it, and, in case he trips and falls while he's doing shit in my house. And they just keep writing the check. It's even like college too. College to me is another brain dead thing, right? It's the most. I think college single-handedly, the whole concept of college and higher education today blows out of the water this whole thing in capitalism, right? Which is supply and demand. I think it's the only thing. Really think about this now. Check it out. Stay with me here. I think college is the only thing. All right, because everything else, when the price goes up and the return goes down, we usually walk away, right? He'll tell them, go pound salt. But college doesn't matter. People just keep willing to pay more and more money for less and less of a return. I mean, you can't make this shit up. They single-handedly blow up the whole concept there of supply and demand. At any rate, getting back to the insurance thing. So I'll never give up on emphasizing this to everybody, okay? You need to have more of a personal interest in this. All right, we just do, folks. Okay, it's the insurance contract is no different than any other contract you sign, whether it's a contract of a mortgage, a contract of a car, a contract for medical service, a contract for a contractor. All right, we certainly have a stake in that, right? Well, we have a stake in the insurance, so you should understand what it is you're paying for. Right? I like to say, I started saying back in the radio days, I said, you need to shop your insurance. What does that mean? Shop your insurance. You should be looking at your policy every 6 months. Nobody does. Nobody gives a shit, right? You get the policy, goes in the circular file or goes in the Pendaflex somewhere, and then nobody knows what the hell, where it is or what you're paying for until you need it, right? I always say insurance, the bad thing about insurance is it's a as need. Right? Remember how we talk about the difference between body shop and mechanic, right? We got two different things here side by side, but the big difference is one's a need to and the other one's as needed. And that's a major challenge in the auto body industry. That's a challenge that we have to overcome all the time. And that's a challenge, by the way, which V&J meets head on very, very successfully. And we're going to get to that with Donna and show you why V&J is very successful in that. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you drive a car or a truck, guess what? You're going to go to a mechanic. I don't give a shit. You could drive and the wheels start falling off. Sooner or later, you're going to a mechanic. Body shop, not so, right? You might have an accident. I've said here before on Crash Course, statistically, they say every 10 years, you're going to have an accident. Now, God forbid, we hope it's not a big accident. We don't want anybody to get hurt. But statistically, and you know what statistics are, right? They take large groups of numbers and then they whittle it all down to an average. Okay, well, that average says every 10 years we get in an accident. I don't know what guy's sitting in a closet somewhere, running numbers, counting beans, came up with that one. But that's what they say, so I got to believe it, all right? I've actually verified that, and it actually is true. It does work out. And as I've said before, the majority of those accidents, folks, guess what? They're going to happen within 20 to 25 square miles of where the hell you live. All right, so digressing again here, we get back to the theme at hand, which is why you need to be invested in your insurance policy. You need to understand what the hell it is you're paying for, how much, and why. And then also, which is what we do here, right? The mission statement of Collision Service Network is what? Right, we're helping the independent shop industry on Long Island, but more importantly, we're making the consumer, you folks out there, right? That's why I say we look out for the folks here. I'm always looking out for the folks. We're looking out for the folks. We're letting you guys, you and me, all of us, okay? I'm the same thing, all right? I'm the host here, but I'm like you. I got an insurance policy, and I pay for this shit day in and day out, month over month, year after year, all right? But we're looking out for the folks, and we're letting you know that, hey, listen, you have a contract, but they have obligations in that contract. You're paying these guys a lot of money. Some people are paying $5,000 a year now for insurance. So
way
guess
more
what?
Than that.
Way more than that. So guess what? So when it comes time to pull the trigger and you need to use it, you got to use it. All right? And I'm not going to go with the stupid analogy. They'll use it or lose it. That's all, I don't know. Maybe that applies to other things. But seriously, folks, this is part of the emphasis we put here on Crash Course, right? Is make people understand and make them aware. I think it's very important. I really do. This isn't some kind of, smoke screen bullshit that I come in here and just, blunder about. I don't like bloviating about things that I'm not actually sincere about. Bloviating. Go look that word up, all right? Bloviate. No bloviating on Crash Course.
Here he is with his big words again.
We're going to ask the guest if she knows what bloviating is. Anyway, that's the word of the day on Crash Course, bloviate. But anyway, so basically that's it, right? And we want everybody to understand that you have rights and expectations under that policy. And it's important. And people need to understand that. Listen, I worked in the industry almost 30 years, okay? And I can tell you, they're not looking out for you, all right? That's bullshit, okay? They're really not looking out for you. They're looking out for them, and that's okay. They're a business. Folks, you need to understand that. Remember, I had a whole segment dedicated to that. They are a business, and like any other business, they're looking to make money. What do I say? Come on, if you've been with us, you know what I say all the time. What do they do most effectively, insurance companies? They look for ways to cut costs when, where, and often. You know when that starts? The minute you pick up the phone and go, hey, how you doing, Mr. Insured? I had an accident. I need help. Great, hold on. And they go to the script. Okay, you can only rent the car for 30 days. We only pay $10 a day. You're going to get screwed at the end. If the car's a total, we'll try and give you as little as possible. No, they actually won't tell you that. But that's how some of the stuff works out. All right, so they're looking out for them. They're not looking out for you. They're looking out for you to the extent that they have to, as defined in the policy and the contract. All right, folks, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here. I don't want to break anybody's bubble, but I've been in that industry for almost 30 years. I've sat through more insurance seminars, listened to more middle managers deliver more pie-in-the-sky bullshit about how they're the guy that's going to change everything. Nothing ever changes. All right, but you know what does? You know what doesn't change also? Is the way they look at you and I when you have an insurance claim. And they look at it as, oh boy, we promised this son of a bitch we were going to pay him when he got in an accident, and now we got to pay him. All right, so how little can we pay him to get out of this? All right, and that's it. That's what they do. They look for ways to cut costs when, where, and often. All right? So remember, it's your insurance policy. It's your contract. All right? Contract is what? It's an agreement between two people. Agreement between two people that sets off what? The expectations, all right, and desires of both parties. It defines them, which that's what the policy does. But you have rights and expectations under there. Don't think that the insurance company holds all the cards. That's a lie. It's all bullshit. They want you to think that. That's not the way it is. All right. And if you've been listening to the show, you understand that more than anybody else out there. And that's why we encourage you to keep telling your friends, family, coworkers, enemies, whoever that's in earshot. Keep telling about Crash Course. We're doing God's work here. It's important stuff. If you don't believe in God, we're doing people's work. But it's a great thing that we do here. We're educating the folks and we're helping the folks. All right. So really appreciate everybody who's following us. Please continue to do so. And we appreciate the growth factor there. I'm being told by my social media expert that we keep adding on to Anthony. We keep adding on to the YouTube channel. Please, folks, if you're a YouTuber, like I love YouTube. I'm a musician. I can't tell you how often I go there. I'm a drummer, and I just love it. It's like the best thing that's ever happened. It's crack for a musician. You can find sheet music there. I use that. I also use the videos to see different drummers. It's amazing. Well, guess what? We have our own YouTube channel. So if you are a YouTuber like me, go there and check us out. Crash Course on the YouTube. You can find us also on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, all right, and on X, and also throughout the Milky Way, and any other galaxy that you might be able to reach. Only kidding. All right, so let's get to the guest. All right, I've been promising this for weeks, for months. So we do have a guest with us today, Donna Spiro from V&J Auto Body. Donna, welcome to Crash Course. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little about who you are and what you do there, how long you've been with the company. And I think that's a good place to start. So go ahead.
Thank you, Pete. So my name is Donna Spiro with V&J Auto Body. Just to give you a little rundown about myself, this originally was originated by my family, my dad and my uncle. They started the business back in 1981. And it's just escalated from there. The history just is amazing. We have customers that are actually coming back from way back then and still know the quality and the professionalism that goes into V&J Auto Body will never be forgotten. Wow. Because we are one of the best shops, if I have to say so myself, on Long Island.
I think I would agree with you 110%.
Absolutely.
Setting aside any individual bias, because I worked there for almost 10 years, but go ahead.
So with that being said, they started the business back then. And then shortly after, my brother John Cacciatore wanted to get involved, and he bought into the business and had amazing ideas on how to expand and grow V&J Auto Body. He was just an amazing leader and he just opened up everyone's eyes in the auto industry. And I just have to say so myself, aside the fact that he's my brother.
Right.
But he really did come a long way with the auto industry.
He used to give people the business too, I heard, right? He was good at that too.
Yes. Whatever the hell that means.
Good old John Cacciatore there. A Brentwood boy like myself, I have to say. Good guy
myself.
though. Yes. We're all a bunch of people from Brentwood. Peeps and Bremps.
That's right. So then after that, he just brought the business to a totally different level. And then he also got James Verone involved. And between the both of them, growing this business is more than I can say. Just seeing us as a 5-star body shop can explain itself what goes into our business. We care about the people. And like Pete said, everything is based off of the insurance company. So we are there for our customers to lead them and basically just help them out with claims, because that's what we're there for.
Now, what about so folks, you hear what she's saying, right? She's talking about the evolution of a business. Okay, so John, this was a family business. It was handed down. John's father and the uncle started it right back in 81.
81.
That's an odd year now. Did they choose that on purpose? I would think they would have started on an even year, like 1980.
No. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but whatever.
I just found that interesting. Only kidding. I graduated in 80. John graduated in 81. And anyway, we went to the same school. We're Brentwood boys. Donna's also a Brentwood girl. All
yes.
Right? But at any rate, so it was a family. So listen to what Donna's saying. So it's a family business, folks. That in itself is a rarity today. All right, I will say that. Everything is more focused on corporate America and corporations, and here we have a family business. We have literally a business that was transferred from father to son, and John took it to the next level. He really did. All right,
absolutely.
Now I met John. John went to school with me. I wasn't friendly with John, but I knew a lot of his friends. So he was a Brentwood boy. And I met John through the insurance industry. And I do remember the shop started out as really like a one-car garage, folks. All right? Right?
Absolutely.
Right? It was literally one car. Next to it was like a tire shop or something next to it. And, fast forward to now, and now V&J Auto Body has become an industry leader, folks. Okay? An industry leader. So it's a body shop that has progressed through time and also changed with the time.
Absolutely.
All right. And that's important, folks, because, you've heard me talk about this quite a bit on this show. All right. What differentiates a body shop of the 21st century versus the 20th century? Right? We're in the 21st century. I know some people don't understand that, but we are. And there's a big difference between the 20th and the 21st. And in our industry, I would say that it's very demonstrable in our industry of the differences that have occurred between the two centuries. All right. Now, what am I saying? Well, I started in the 80s. I met John in the mid 80s. All right. And it was a one-car operation, and the shop was profitable. Right? They made money.
Absolutely. They did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Donna's dad raised a family on that and was able to do that. Folks, you can't do that today, though. Okay. And we're going to highlight that here today. All right. We're going to talk about a couple of things with Donna. A couple of attributes that I think are unique to V&J that also give us an incredibly competitive edge. And Donna's going to speak to that a little more here in a second. But these are things that, you need to pay attention to. All right. And I try and tell people that there's a difference. There's a reason why there's a body shop on every corner here on Long Island. Folks, with that many shops, with that many businesses populating an industry, they can't all be great and they can't all be doing the right thing. All right. I'm sorry. And I don't want to hear. I know when I was on the radio, I had some guys call in, and they, some guys got a little took it a little personal and what I had to say, and that's fine. But you know what though? At the end of the day, folks, competition is good for the industry and it's good for the folks. It's good for you and me. It really is. Monopolies don't serve anybody any good other than themselves. All right, and having an industry that's overpopulated like the auto, right? Would you say the auto body industry is it like crazy overpopulated? Is it just me?
100%.
Right?
Absolutely.
Literally.
Yeah, there is like.
we have
4, and if not more, in like a small radius.
Let's talk about V&J within our radius. And when we're talking about a radius, I'm talking about a couple of blocks.
Correct.
How many shops would you say are like within a stone's throw? Literally stone's throw. I could probably take a stone and hit one of them.
Maybe about 10.
Yeah.
At least.
All right, folks. Now, when you have that many that many businesses populating an industry, okay, they can't all possibly be profitable, and they can't all possibly be meeting the consumer demands. And when I say consumer demand, I've spoken about with the differentiations and why V&J Auto Body is an industry leader, okay, and why if you get in a wreck, folks, bar none, what I've been saying, if you get in an auto accident, okay, the first place you need to be is at V&J Auto Body. That's it, okay? There should be no doubt in your mind. The last thing you want to do is you want to work with the insurance companies. And I've spoken about this, the direct repair programs. Forget it. And we're going to finish up the show touching on that a little bit. All right. But there are so many body shops populating this industry. So they're not all doing the right thing. And guess what? The majority of them certainly aren't making the investments, right? They're not investing in materials, people, business processes, technologies. They're not, folks. Okay. They're not. Right? The guy that was fixing cars 40, 50 years ago, he might be a nice guy. He might know what he's doing. He don't know shit from Shiola today, though. I can promise you that. Okay?
Yeah, with the way these cars are built today, 100%.
Right. It's crazy.
It's certifications. You got to be certified.
Yes.
To know how to repair these vehicles.
Right. And I talk about V&J being one of the most highly certified shops.
We try to stay
Suffolk.
caught up with today's industry on cars,
right?
Like how you have the electric cars, you have the hybrids, all of that. You have to be certified to get these cars back to pre-accident condition.
Right. We have the Jetson cars, the Flintstone cars. I mean, folks, there's all kinds of cars out there, right?
Absolutely.
That's a joke. But I talk
that'll
about,
come soon.
Yeah. The Jetson. Well, the Jetsons cars, we're probably going to see them. But we have a wall. Tell them about the wall. Our wall. We have a wall in the shop. That's just, I call it the pat me on the back wall. Right. I mean, we got more shit on that wall. Right. Plaques, certificates.
Absolutely.
How many do we have? What do we have? 50?
At least. Yeah. There's probably like 30 or maybe 50. I don't even know. But there's a lot.
All right.
There's a lot. We lost count.
All right. We lost count. It's very important that you understand. What have I been saying? Right. You understand who and why people are fixing your car, right? You need to know who's fixing your car, why they want to fix it the way they're fixing it, and are they going to look out for your interests, all right? Most of these shops today, they might be, and I think I'm on thin ice here with this, but I'm just going to try and be gracious when I say this. The majority of the shops out there today, they might all mean well, they might really sincerely want to do a good job, but folks, they simply don't have the education base, the technology base, the equipment base, and I would argue in a lot of instances they simply don't have the technicians. All right, so and money's money. Right?
Absolutely,
money's money. So you roll in there with your newfound vehicle, whether it's a Tesla, whether it's a Range Rover, whether it's a Prius, whether it's a Polaris, or whether it's we just became certified in Rivian. Right? A Rivian, right?
And now keep in mind that all these cars are calibrations.
Yes, we're going to get to that. Calibrations, that's a very good point, okay? So Donna just hit on calibrations. Now, what does that mean? All right, we're going to fast forward here because that's a very interesting topic to tie into this. But let me just finish what we were saying though about you're going to roll into the shop around the corner. The guy's going to look at that. He's going to look back and go, "Wow, I got no work here. What are you driving? Are you driving a Rivian? Yeah, I could fix that." Guy don't know nothing. He don't know nothing about the car, but he's not going to tell you that, right? He's not going to tell you that. He's going to tell you, "I can fix that." Guy has no idea what the hell he's doing.
And also, they can't get parts if you're not certified.
Correct.
So where is that going to go?
Right. So now you bring your car there. He turns around and he says, "Yeah, I could fix it. No problem. Come on in. I'll call your insurance company down." Great. Gets into the job. Guess what? 2 weeks into the job, he turns around and tells you, like Donna just said, "I can't get parts. I don't know. They won't sell me the parts." All right. And how many times, especially with the Teslas,
Absolutely.
How about when in the early days of the Teslas, how many shops were calling us, "I can't get the car to start. I can't get a part.
Yep, absolutely.
I can't get the
they
car."
Were calling us.
Who are they calling?
V&J Auto Body.
They're calling V&J. Why? Because we were certified and we had access to Toolbox, which is Tesla's specialized, basically like plug-in type of automated service. So you plug into their basically their firmware. They can actually remote into the car, all right, and they can do their thing. Well, if you're not a certified shop, folks, that ain't happening, okay? And more of these manufacturers today are demanding these certifications. So what I'm trying to say here in a nutshell is with all these shops populating an industry, All right. And the majority of these guys not being able to keep up with the times. Now, again, they might be great people and they might have been great business people and they might have actually been phenomenal technicians, phenomenal craftsmen back in the day. But it's not enough anymore, folks.
Right. And also keep in mind that V&J has an in-house calibration that we don't have to, that car doesn't have to leave our premises.
Right.
We have it. We have our own company and we take care of it. And the car literally would leave from our shop from repairs to paint, repair, calibration, and
you hear this?
Polish and detail, and off you go.
Right. So what is Donna talking about? She's talking about what I talk about, a holistic approach to auto body. All right. Used to be back in my day when I started in the industry, and I would even argue into the early 2000s, a lot of these body shops, folks, you go get your car fixed there, and guess what? It gets sent out to Tricky Dick's Mechanic. It gets out to, Slim Jim's, calibration center. It gets, sent down the road to We Bang 'em Out, whatever, wheel alignment center. So all these segmented little things, because why? Because nobody could do everything in one place. And what Donna just said is V&J has a holistic approach to the auto body industry. So you come to us, and everything stays in-house.
That's right.
That means we're responsible for everything, but it also means, guess what? It also means that you can rest assured that everything is going to be repaired top-notch to the highest quality and definitely within strict industry standards and consistent with, most importantly, the manufacturer requirements,
exactly.
Right? So hence the certifications. Very important, folks, okay? Again, 30 years ago, you could get away with all this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Cars weren't as sophisticated. We didn't have the technology packages in the cars.
Oh my God, they used to weld cars together.
Right. That's right. They used to do the what the hell are they called? The sectioning.
That's what my father used to do.
Yeah.
He used to take a front and a rear from another car and boom.
There was a guy up in Deer Park, Long Island here, that I used to deal with. I think the place was called LeBron Auto Body or something. It was a crap hole. And this guy, he would do that.
Mm-hmm.
He would do, folks, you got to imagine this. They would actually cut the rear of a car off and section the whole rear end. And it was legal and ethical.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
the scary part.
Yeah, it was sanctioned by the industry. It was like, yeah, no problem. Just cut that thing right in half and weld that section in. Those days are gone, folks. Anybody that's even talking about that, you need to run as fast as you can for the
seriously.
door. Okay? Because I don't know what he's welding and I don't know what section he's putting on. But that's not going to happen. So let's touch on the calibration thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Donna mentioned the calibration thing. So most cars today, I would say probably what? 99% of them?
Oh, absolutely. Almost every car has to be calibrated. Anything with a sensor, calibration.
Right. Park sensor,
cameras, side sensor, mirrors, anything.
All the cameras that are in these cars.
Windshields.
Windshields. Right, Donna's right. A lot of these windshields are very advanced today. You have a heads-up display or you have some kind of camera in the windshield. Mm-hmm. Guess what? That windshield glass just ain't windshield glass anymore. And again, the guy with the run-of-the-mill shop, is he going to know that? I got to take the windshield out. He's going to take that hot knife out and start cutting right through that.
Yep.
Who the hell knows what he's cutting through, too? That's like me with a plasma cutter. Quick story.
That's scary.
Quick story. Yeah, I was down. So I was with an outfit called USA. They sent us down to the corporate center down in Texas, put us in one of their in-house body shops for 2 weeks. And we were given different tasks. We put on teams. So we had a car, was plowed in the rear. And, we were competing against the different teams. So, of course, we were under the clock. And I'm looking at the problem. And, we're pulling the car and nothing's coming out of this car. So the instructor says, don't forget there's a plasma cutter available. So I'm like, great. And if I have any body shop guys out there or any techs that listen, that follow the show, you're going to crack up at this. So, the plasma cutter was briefly explained to us, and I see my team, and I'm looking at the other team, and they're pulling their fucking car, and it's coming out, and I'm like, shit, we're falling behind here. But the trunk floor on this fucking car, I think it was a Chevy Celebrity, was so crushed that even after we pulled it, we couldn't get the freaking dents out of the floor. So I turned around and said, well, I can get the plasma cutter. So that all the guys on my team, now we're all insurance guys, okay? We're all insurance guys.
I can only imagine where this is going.
There's no body shop guy. Maybe there was a couple guys that were ex-body shop guys. So they're all agreeing with me. Oh, yeah, Crash, that's a good idea. Get the plasma cutter. That thing cuts right through. So the instructor comes over and he's looking. He goes, oh, you use a plasma cutter? I'm like, yeah. I said, we're falling behind. So we can cut this and then we'll be able to pull the rail. He goes, yeah, He goes, you think that's a good idea? Yeah, I do. I said, we're going to be able to get the floor out and, we'll be able to access the rail. So there I go. I get inside the trunk and I fire this thing up and I'm cutting right through this plasma cutter. If anybody knows what a plasma cutter is, it's basically like a laser beam that cuts right through anything. And I'm cutting through the floor and we're all cracking up, right, and going along, and the floor falls out. I'm like, holy shit, yeah. And the instructor comes over and he goes, that's pretty good. He goes, you think you're going to be able to call the insurance company back? I said, for what? He goes, you just cut through the main wire harness. He says, that ran against the rail under there.
Oh, my God.
And we were like, we all just looked at each other, started cracking up, like.
That's bad.
He's like, yeah, it's one of the... That's one of the pitfalls of using the plasma cutter. Cuts everything right down the line. The fucking heat went right through everything and cut everything.
My God.
I thought I was just cutting the metal.
And who knows how long you're going to get that harness if it was a real job.
Yeah, so needless to say, we lost, we didn't have to worry about time. We lost anyway because we weren't getting a fucking wire. Anyway, I digress. All right, so talking about calibrations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, folks, calibrations, this is a very unique area in the auto body industry. It's a fairly new area. I would say probably within the last 5 years, that's become very, very, prevalent. And calibrations involve everybody's car today, like Donna said, right? Almost, I would say every car probably. I mean, going back to probably 2012?
Yeah, probably around there.
Around 2012. And what that basically means is that, if your car gets in a wreck, right, and we have to disconnect stuff, which you have to disconnect the battery and other electronics, that car's not going to be back on the road again. Right? It's not going to be in drivable condition unless we can calibrate it. And calibrations have been both a challenge for the auto body industry as well as the insurance industry. All right, those guys, they're challenged from the economic standpoint. We're challenged from, I think, both. I think we're challenged from both. I was going to say one, but we're actually challenged from both. Wouldn't you agree, right? Economically.
Absolutely.
And technically,
absolutely,
right? And that's because there's always the give and take with the cost factor and what's fair and reasonable and all this other shit. But what Donna said was very important, right? V&J Auto Body having a holistic approach to the auto body industry, the auto body repair experience, means that I don't have to offshore any of this. Is that what you were trying to say?
Exactly.
So why don't you explain that a little more? Explain to the folks why that's so important, that if they go to a shop that doesn't have the capability or doesn't understand what's involved, what that can mean to them.
Well, first of all, they put their trust in us.
Correct.
So if you're going to put your trust in a body shop, you want it to be 100% satisfaction, and you want to make sure that that person has their car in their hands because their family is going back in that car.
Right.
So they want to make sure that that car is going to be safety wise, and they're going to feel comfortable and rest assured that they're going to get that car back the way it was pre-accident condition.
Right, without having any hiccups either.
Exactly.
Meaning that, all of a sudden this light's coming on, that button doesn't work.
Correct.
Right.
Which when you get into an accident, V&J Auto Body explains and actually opens up to the customer and tells them everything, what they will expect. And that includes, the whole process, calling the claim into the insurance company, because we basically know and we guide you through it just to make sure that we have all that we need to start the whole process, which includes the rental, what, the deductible is, and getting in the inspection ready, getting you into the rental, and then having from that point on, it just goes down the cycle of getting the repairs done, then the paint process, and then, of course, the assembly, calibration, polish, and detail, and then final delivery.
Now, folks, I want to set the table. So Donna's going down the road that I wanted to go down here in the very next segment. And I want you to listen to what she's saying here, okay? Because I think this is a very critical departure, all right, from most of the body shops out. Not all of them. I mean, a lot of them have, quite a few of them have evolved in some form or fashion around this theme. But what Donna's going to explain here is very important, and it also goes to a very important thing that I speak about all the time, right? Which is what? There's a right way and a wrong way in how to report a claim. There really is, folks. And, I know it sounds a little, cavalier and stuff, right? What do you mean it's the right way? You just call up and tell them what happened. Not exactly. All right. And I've spoken about here I've on this show, Donna, I've spoken about it quite a bit with people. I've tried to let people know on podcasts that on Crash Course that there is a way to report an accident, you know, and I know it sounds a little, you know, bizarre, right? Because you're thinking, you're hearing this guy and you're like, what does he mean? There's a right way to report. You know, I call up the insurance company. I tell them I had an accident. I tell them what happened. I tell them what's damaged. And that's true. That's part of it. But folks, when I tell you, and I've told you that here for many years now, right? You've heard me speak about this. How many people that come into my office or come into V&J and they've already done this, okay? And then I'll go out and look at the car and I'll be like, this looks like it's part of the accident, Mr. Jones. And they're like, oh, it is? Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay. And that's okay, you know, because we're very good at what we do. Donna's very good at what she does. And in most instances, we can turn that around for you. But a lot of times you can't. All right. So, or even if we can, you know, we're fighting from the rear instead of fighting from the front at that point. All right. So it's very critical that the folks understand that there's a process and there is really a right way and a wrong way to report an accident to an insurance company.
Absolutely.
There is. All right. What you said, and we're not talking about fraud here. All right. I don't want to hear any kind of baloney bullshit out there about, he's talking about, you know, no, we're not talking about that.
It's just educating the customers.
Correct.
Because what happens is everybody now, all these insurance companies have their own apps, okay, that people have on their phone.
Right.
And then it says on there, oh, you know, send the photo.
Right.
We'll write up your estimate. And guys,
we hate photo
honestly, guys, do you really, with the type of cars you have, you want them to repair your car based off of a photo?
Yeah.
Abso-freaking-lutely not. Okay? You want the experts to take that control, and they look at your car and they tell you, which is V&J, our estimators, will negotiate or even go over the claim with the insurance company eye to eye. Because with the way these cars are built today, you don't want to send in a photo and have them write an estimate. That's unbelievably unheard of anymore in this day and age with the way these cars are built. These cars are like machines. I mean, with the way that, you know, you have aluminum, right?
Well, the material is on, but let me hold on. Don, listen to Don, folks. Are you listening to this? All right, this is coming from Donna now. Works at V, not coming from me. All right, because you heard it from me, but you're hearing it from Donna, who's an employee of V&J Auto Body. All right, and she's telling you firsthand the things that I tell you all the time, which is what. Just say no, right? We resurrected the old Nancy Reagan program, man. We started it back on the radio, and I said I'm gonna resurrect the old Nancy Reagan program, which was just say no to drugs. And I said we're gonna ask you to just say no to the insurance company. So when the insurance company says, "Hey, do you have a phone? Can you send photos?" Just say no.
Right. And the other I want to add to that is people think that they have to, and you
right.
do not have to.
Thank you, folks. You hear this?
You do not have to do anything. You tell them, I have my body shop of choice, because you have the right to pick the shop of your choice.
Right.
Just as you have the right choice to pick the rental company of your choice.
Right.
They can't dictate to you who you're going to use, where you're going to go, and that you have to send a photo, because it's all bullshit. Right.
And I've spoken to that at length here, folks. Remember, you're talking to me here, the old insurance guy. There is nothing in your policy that dictates that you have to cooperate with the insurance company. You know what it does say? I'll tell you what it does say in black and white. It says in Reg 64, which is the controlling entity in New York State. All right. It says that you have to make your car, all right, available to the insurance company to inspect the damages on your vehicle. All right. And to confirm the facts of the loss and everything else. But you know what it says? You know what the caveat is in there? It says convenient to you, not convenient to them. So you choose a location, time and place convenient to the insured or the claimant, not the insurance company. All right. So when you're agreeing to take photos of your damaged car and send it to them, guess what you're doing? You're helping them. So you're agreeing to a location, time, and place for them, not you. All right. For you, it would be a body shop. And in this case, it's going to be V&J Auto Body. All right. Folks, I've spoken about this at length, and we're going to hit on this right before I close out the show. All right. Everybody needs to stop this. Now, if this is in New York State, all right. So most of this show covers New York State. So I don't think we have to go much beyond that. But Reg 64 is the New York State insurance reg. It's the controlling entity here in New York State. It also has within it the Unfair Claims Practices Act. These things are put in place to help and to help us, the consumer. They're also to help the industry, all right, the auto body industry. But they're mostly designed, all right, and was written, all right, to safeguard the consumer, okay, to safeguard you and I, the folks, all right, against the big bad insurance company. And even with that, today, the insurance companies continue to find ways to just not only cut costs, but also to find ways to navigate around the reg. It's a tremendous challenge today, more so than ever before that I've seen in the 30-some-odd years I've been in the industry. It's just incredible, the things that they're coming up with. Unfortunately, some people are trying to challenge that around the periphery, but that's another show.
I'm going to touch on one more thing.
Go right ahead. Touch on as many things as you want to touch on.
There is one thing I just want to put out there, because I've been finding this a lot lately, where people go to get a car at the dealership.
Right.
It's brand new car. You're getting it firsthand. And then they provide you with all the insurance. They set everything up for you through your insurance company. And then no one realizes, or the insurance company doesn't hit on it well enough to say that you might need a photo inspection.
Okay.
So people are either not realizing they're getting an email saying they have to do a photo inspection, or they're not telling them firsthand that they have to get a photo inspection. And then before you know it, you get into an accident, and they're saying, well, you didn't do a photo inspection, which is not necessary when you buy a new car from a dealer firsthand. Okay. Because I'm going through this right now with a few claims that I have.
Okay.
And they're saying that they didn't do a photo inspection. Okay. So this is something that you might want to look into or ask questions. Do I need to do a photo inspection that I have a new car? I just feel like right now that's an important question to ask.
Okay, now what did Donna just touch on? Okay, Donna just touched on the thing that I opened the show about, which is what, folks? Being involved, having a more personal investment in your damn insurance, okay? Folks, yes. You just can't be cavalier about this. I don't know how, I've been going on about this since I started when I launched the show, Crash Course. All right, and this is what we're hoping to do is raise more awareness, have people get more involved in this. I know it's very mundane. I know most people look at insurance as, you just have to have it and you have to pay for it, and who gives a shit? Well, guess what Donna just said? Apparently, people aren't giving a shit, and now what's happening is they're buying used cars, and folks, a lot of times you're going to see this in a used car purchase, right? Like Donna said.
Pre-owned.
You're buying a used car. Now, some of these used car guys should be educated to this, but maybe they're not, all right? Or maybe they're pulling some kind of shenanigans. I don't know. But what Donna basically said is a lot of these people, they're buying the car. It's not new. They're leaving thinking they have insurance, and they either don't or they didn't get physical coverage. All right, now, in order to get physical coverage on a car that's already been pre-owned, all right, that's been out there already, and whether you're buying in the private sale or through a used car guy or through a wholesaler, all right, or through a rental company, where they sell off their overstock and everything, doesn't matter. If it's a used vehicle, listen up, all right? Hello, listen up. If it's a used vehicle and you did not buy it from a brand new car off a dealer, folks, you need to get a photo. It's Reg 79, New York State photo inspection. It is a requirement. Otherwise, the insurance company is going to be paying for every dent and scratch and rust that's on the car.
And they're not going to remind you.
Right. And with Donna, that's interesting, Donna. I'm glad you brought that up. Mm-hmm. Okay, because what Donna is saying here is we can't rely on the insurance industry anymore, folks. All right. And I think probably a lot of this is flowing out of the process, right? I mean, because a lot of people are just doing a lot of online shit now.
Exactly. And they're hitting the wrong buttons, and you hit this button. You're the one that did it.
Right.
So that's what they're doing. So the insurance company is leaving it up to the customer to get their own insurance. And a lot of people don't understand it.
That's
so
crazy.
They're just hitting buttons saying, yeah, I hit that, but I thought I hit that. Oh, I thought I hit rental, or I thought I hit this, and not realizing that.
Right. And so this,
whatever you hit, that's what you're getting. And that could be no insurance and only liability. And now you're really screwed.
Is that like whatever you hit, you must have quit?
Basically, that's Pete saying.
Getting back to the OJ days. No, but seriously, yeah. But so So you think this is probably across the board then with major insurance companies 100%. as well as these smaller, low cost. Okay.
Yes.
So I guess like a Geico, right? I know a lot of people are insured. Like they say, 1 out of 5 people with Geico, and Geico is a lot of self-service stuff, right? People go on there.
There's not that many agents. Yes.
Right. So you can set up your own policy, choose your own deductible.
Yep.
Aha. All right. So see, this is
correct.
why we have guests on now like Donna, because Donna is enlightening us here to a very serious problem, folks. And what do I always say here? We're looking out for the folks. And that's
right.
what we just did here. So this is another example why you need to take an interest in your insurance policy, your insurance company. Folks, just don't write that check. Shop your insurance. Every 6 months, you should be looking at your policy. I know most people are going to be like, I don't give a shit. I know what I have. You'd be surprised, all right? And not only that, you might be paying for shit you don't even need anymore. The shit box that you have in the driveway, you might have collision on. You don't even need it. All right? Or vice versa. Or maybe your limits are too high and you don't need them anymore. I don't know. I don't know what your financial economics are. Just please, you need to be more personally involved. Today, I think it's more important today than ever before. And I'm so glad that Donna brought this up because this is a major problem.
Yes, it is.
Folks, you could be in a real bad financial situation, okay, very quickly with this. All right? So if you're doing all this, and I'm not a fan of this. I'm an old fart, right? I'm a dinosaur. I say that all the time on this show, right? I'm a dinosaur. I'm prehistoric here. All this shit with the phone, all this crap. I know all the new castrati and everything. They all love it. Woo! I think it's a bunch of crap. I'm from the old school. I like personal contact. I like actually seeing somebody, talking to somebody, speaking with people. But, I get it. The future marches on. But, and with this future, though, is a lot of pitfalls, right? A lot of pitfalls. We see that with social media, with kids getting in trouble and everything. Well, folks, here's another example what Donna just brought up. Here's another pitfall. All right, so great. Go online. If you have a claim, go to blah 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 .com. Everything's .com. They don't want you to talk to anybody. Everything's .com. Go here, go there. And then the problem with that is you go there and then you get confused and I guess I need this and I guess I need that and here comes your policy and like Donna said, whoops, whoops, you didn't hit the button.
It's bad.
Yeah. And then you come in to see Donna. And Donna is amazing at her job. So she researches everything for you. She contacts the insurance company. She looks into your coverages. She gets a hold of the policy. She gets the either the policy or most likely she gets the she's going to get the front sheet on the policy and be able to see all your coverages and what you pay for and stuff like that, your rental allowance. And then she's going to understand that, hey, you don't have physical damage. What do you mean? You don't have a physical damage policy. You have liability, or didn't we have a case the one time where the guy, what the hell was it? I thought it was a case where they had physical damage. The guy got in the accident and then they realized that the guy never submitted photos. So they denied the whole thing also.
Yes. And they couldn't even drive the car. It had to get towed to DMV.
Oh, okay.
To get it registered or whatever it was, something like that.
Right. Some big complicated mess, folks.
They had to get towed.
Right.
And they were not allowed to drive it.
Right. Big
they had
mess.
No insurance.
No insurance, okay? Or like I said, you get in a wreck thinking you have insurance. The insurance company says, oh, you never sent us the photos. And you're like, photos of what? The hell am I? Well, Reg 679, you're supposed to go to a photo inspection center, which they can be at gas stations, mechanic shops. And then you send them in. I actually had that done. We bought an Acura RDX, me and my wife. It's a used car. And we actually bought it from a dealer. Folks, listen up. We bought it from a new dealer. We bought it from Bayshore Acura. And I still had to drive that thing over.
To get an inspection.
Yup, to some guy on Union Boulevard in Bayshore. You're right.
Absolutely.
I just remembered that. I had to do it, folks, even with a car from a new car dealership. The fucking thing was used, and they made me drive to a place. And if I didn't send those photos in within 30 days, we were not going to have physical damage coverage. Now, of course, I'm in the industry, so I knew I was going to need that. So we were proactive, and we reached out to my company's USA. Reached out to them. They said, yes, you can go over to Tricky Dick's mechanic shop here, and he'll take the photos for you. And
insurance companies can provide you with some locations.
Yes.
So you don't have to get confused about it. Where do I go? What do I do?
Right. That's what USAA did. Yeah, they said they had a place.
Where do you have, places that do this?
Right. But what's the key here, though?
You have to ask.
You have to ask. See?
You have to ask. They're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell you anything.
And if you're using all this self-serve features today, right? Everything's just go online. You go online and you get lost. Right? And like Donna said, you don't push the right button. How many people we get come into V&J and they find out they don't have rental? And they swear up and down, I had rental.
And the reason for that is because they, on their renewal, they say, I don't want to pay this much money. And then the agent or the representative just does it on their own to remove and either increase the deductible or they take the rental out and it looks so promising.
Yes, so the premium lowers, so they look like they're saving
this
money.
This is what we did for you.
But the jackass didn't tell them.
We took the rental out. We increased your deductible to $2,500.
All right,
so
folks.
That's the problem. And then people don't review it. And they're like, oh, that's a great price. I'll take it.
Right. What did Donna just say?
Without asking.
Right. They don't review it. Folks, you got to be involved in this. All right. Listen to what Donna just said. That's so critical. You go in there, you're pissing and moaning. Oh, my God. I'm paying all this. All right. Yeah, no problem. Let me see. Let me look through here. Okay. All right. I do this. All right. How's that? Oh, yeah. That looks good. That dropped it by $500 a year. Good, right? You good with that?
Yes. And the other problem is this, that they lower the PD limits.
Oh, that's a winner. I never heard that one.
Well, to $10K, which is the minimum in New York State.
Holy shit. They're going to lower the PD limits, and that's going to help bring down the premium too?
Absolutely. Because they don't want to pay a lot of insurance, so they modify the whole policy, lowering the PD limit to 10, raising their deductible, taking the rental off. That's why I always try to tell everyone, make sure that you review everything
before that, folks?
You sign any documents, cut a check. You want to know exactly how did you get to that amount?
Right.
What did you modify? What did you change?
Get involved in the process. And what do I say here time and time again, right? Ignorance is not bliss in this business. I mean that on the body shop side as well as the insurance.
Let's face it, if you're gonna have a 10K policy and then you're gonna hit someone in a Tesla, and let's say something, God forbid, happens to them, they're going to go after you.
Right.
Because you're not going to have enough through your insurance to pay for the damages. Right. And I've seen that happen before where they'll go to small claims court or whatever to go after the person on a personal basis.
Sure, absolutely.
Because they don't have enough in property.
Right. And I don't want to hear the bullshit. I don't want to hear everybody, all the mental geniuses out there right now, all the wizards of Noah are all probably, laughing. What are they going to sue me? I got nothing.
It's not bullshit.
Let me tell you something, folks. You go down the road and you hit somebody and you hurt them, and they're banged up, or God forbid you kill them, okay, forget the car. You're going to be in trouble. All right, and if you didn't pay for the right insurance, or you don't have the right amount of coverage, you're going to get sued. And you're going to have to get a lawyer, which is going to cost you money, and you're going to have to pay. You may not pay right away. They may put a judgment on you, and you may laugh and snicker and everything like that, but someday down the line, that's going to come back to haunt you. So don't be that guy.
Yeah,
all right?
Just
listen to what Donna's saying. Don't be that person. All right? Take a little extra time, get a little involved in your insurance matters, find out what it is you have, why you have it, do you have enough, do you have too much? Like I said, you might be paying for shit you don't even want anymore. But the bottom line is ignorance is not bliss. And it's not bliss in the body shop business either. I've talked about this. You don't want to be a dummy in the body shop industry either. Ignorance might be bliss in love, but it ain't bliss in the insurance and on the body shop side. All right, so before we wrap this up, I want to tighten things up a little bit more here with Donna. So V&J Auto Body is a state-of-the-art facility, right? Like I say time and again, all right? They are a future-focused shop, all right? They have one eye on the present and one eye down the road, and that's very important.
Concierge.
All right, concierge. They continue to grow, all right? And that's a great thing. They stay an example, a shining example of what the industry should be, especially in the 21st century, all right? Now, unfortunately, we struggle with the economic side of things because the industry is going through some changes, all right? I can't really get my head around it right now. I think it's a combination of a lot of different things. And the other thing is for whatever, and this is for a different show. We're gonna have a show on this. We'll bring somebody in that can speak to this a little more specifically. But there isn't a lot of competition in the auto body industry, all right? You don't see a lot of advertising. There's no marketing, very little advertising. Most of the businesses in the industry spend no money at all to promote their brand or to promote their business. It's a very unique type of industry. A lot of it's word of mouth, or what I like to call gentlemen's agreements with, whether it be with dealerships or agencies, or I don't know, wherever the hell it is, used car guys. It's a very, very interesting business from that perspective. All right, we're hoping to change that at V&J. There are a few guys out there that have turned the corner on that a little bit. But I think there needs to be more emphasis on that going forward in the future with respect to the auto body industry. I really do. And I'm hoping that crash course will be a part of that, at least with V&J. I think it's very important, all right, that we continue to have a dialogue and communication with people. People need to understand things. Like I said, ignorance doesn't work anymore. It worked 30 years ago. It doesn't work now. All right. So on that note, while we get ready to close out the show here, I want Donna to speak specifically to some of the things that you do there that are unique to V&J. And now what I'm speaking about here, folks, is, Donna and her coworker, Jackie, right, in my humble opinion, all right, this is my opinion, all right, but it's based on a lot of experience and a lot of education, all right, and also having been a bodily injury rep, also a GL rep. I also worked arbitration in the insurance industry. I also I handle liability claims and all kinds of other claims. So I was that guy. I did that job. I settled bodily injury claims, settled liability losses, did investigations, handled arbitration. So I have a breadth of experience. I'm not just an adjuster. I'm not just an appraiser. So when I say that Donna and Jackie, I would put them on an equal par, okay, with some of the most knowledgeable staff at the insurance industry. I'm sincere about that. I really do. I mean that, folks. Right? And that says something, okay? And you need to pay attention to that, because I can tell you, and I think Donna's going to agree in a minute here with me, that in most body shops that you walk into, even some of the more well-known, well-established body shops, who I would say are our chief competitors out there, we're not going to give them any free air here and mention their names. But suffice it to say that they try and do the right thing also. I would say that you'd be hard-pressed to find anything that comes as close to what we have set up here at V&J with respect to Donna and Jackie. You probably get a person that, has a pad and a pen, and they take down, the basic information, and they kind of, coordinate stuff, and they help you get situated. But that's probably it. And then maybe a rental guy. And if they don't have a rental guy, they call a local rental place, and some dingbat comes down and gets you set up in a rental car. All right. Which that's another thing. We have, all that's on site. So with that, let's have Donna explain a little more. Let's speak more specifically to your role at V&J, all right? How has your job changed and evolved, all right? What are your specific responsibilities, and how do you feel that impacts customer service? Like, how do you feel that sets V&J apart on a competitive level, all right, in the industry?
Okay, so basically,
like, what are your job duties? Somebody comes in the door.
So someone comes in the door. We got a new customer coming in. They get into an accident,
right?
And it's not. Let's go to the part where it's not their fault.
Right. You see me coming to the counter, and you run out there.
You get into an accident. You get rear-ended. Whatever, sideswipe, whatever the case may be. It's not your fault.
Hold on. They come in the door, and I'm coming up. I'm coming to the counter to intercept. You come running out, and you get between me and the customer, right away.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Now, why? Why is that? Why would that be? I'm not going to help them?
No, because you're too rough around the edges.
Oh, come on. I'm not rough around the edges.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
So
Go
anyway.
ahead. Sorry.
So the customer...
trying to put a little levity in the show here. Go ahead.
Yes. So the customer comes in, they get rear-ended. Let's just go to that route.
Okay.
So now, obviously, they don't want to go through their insurance. So we go to bat for you.
Right.
We get that police report. We contact the other party's insurance. And a lot of times, folks, the driver is not always the registered owner.
Right.
So now we have to try to locate the policy through the registered owner. And it's very difficult sometimes if you have just a police report and you don't have the MV 104A that gives you a whole description of everybody involved in the accident. It includes who the insurance company is, whatnot. It could always be a little bit different. And the reason why I say that is because if the driver is not on the policy, sometimes it makes it a little difficult to find it.
Absolutely.
But that's why we know what we need to do. We go to bat and we locate that policy somehow, some way.
Okay.
And when the folks see what we do and what goes into it, they are completely impressed.
Right. So basically what you're saying is somebody comes in, they had an accident, and all they have is a plate or a picture of a plate. I know everybody has their phones today. I got a picture of his plate.
Correct.
So they have a picture of the plate and maybe the registration and hopefully maybe a name.
Right.
And that's it.
Because a lot of insurance companies want VIN numbers.
Right.
We don't have that. Phone numbers. We don't have that. You know, all these specific.
But even with that sketchy information, with your skill base and your experience, you're able to actually affect a good outcome.
Absolutely. 100%.
What can I say, folks? Okay.
People are in awe with what they see us do for them.
Right. Listen
so
to what
they
Donna's
don't
saying
have to
here.
go through their insurance. Okay? Because, you know, at that point, if it's not your fault.
But what if they don't even have insurance? What if they got hit and they don't have an option?
A lot of times they only have
Folks,
liability.
you might not have an option. You might have an older vehicle.
And
Donna's going to be able, because of her skill base, Donna is going to be able to turn that into no type of outcome, right, or no options to an option.
I'm going to give you an example.
Go right
names.
ahead.
I just had a case this week. Customer came in. He has no collision, only liability. He got hit by someone from his job. Now, just imagine this. And they are not coming forward. They're not releasing any information. He doesn't get a police report because it's someone from his job.
Right.
So now he's giving me just a plate number. And off from that plate number, I was able to get the person who owns the truck, and I was able to contact insurance companies based off of the plate number, and I was able to retrieve the VIN number.
Wow.
So because I was able to do that, we got them when we had to initiate the claim.
Okay.
And because we initiate it, what happens next? They then call their insured, say, hey, listen, I just got a call from so-and-so who said he got rear-ended. Is this true? Yes, it is. They ended up fessing up to it, said it was their fault, got 100%, and now the car's in the shop, and we got him into a rental, and everything is good to go. This customer was so happy that he didn't even know what was going to happen, what the outcome was, because he had no collision.
No collision.
Okay, and he had a 2019 vehicle.
Okay, no collision means no options. He had no options to get his car fixed, and his car was smashed.
We went to bat, and we were able to get it resolved for him, and he was able to get into a rental, and now he is so happy.
And now you're able to do this because of a combination of what? Skill and also application, right?
Absolutely.
Applications.
And
technology, business processes that we have in place at V&J, which enable Donna to apply her skills and bring that to bear to resolve the issue. Folks, you're simply not going to get this at most of these shops. I would say 85%.
We're relentless. We don't stop until it's done.
Right.
And you know, and that's what makes us who we are.
Right. And Donna, like I said earlier about putting Donna and Jackie on a par with the insurance industry professionals, right? The claim reps like myself, like I used to do for a living. All right. They can investigate. They can even get involved. Can't you guys even advocate on behalf of them for comparative negligence in New York State, right?
Absolutely.
There you go, folks.
We are there for you 100%.
All right. So,
and we go to bat. We just, continue to contact and badger the insurance companies to make their decision.
Right.
And there should be no reason, especially if it's a clear cut rear end hit or whatever the case may be,
Yeah, but even if it's comparative negligence, all right. Let's say it's a left turn issue or something.
Correct.
You can advocate on behalf of them, man.
Absolutely.
Maybe try and affect the outcome of the liability decision.
Absolutely. We know what we need to get to that point.
Right.
Well,
you understand comparative negligence laws in New York State.
Yes.
Okay,
exactly.
folks.
Exactly.
Right.
You can't get better than that.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Come on. You walk into most body shops and you use the word comparative negligence, and they're going to be compare what? I'm negligent for who?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Donna and Jackie both understand comparative negligence. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That is the way that claims are settled in New York State. All right. It is not modified. It is 100% comparative negligence, which means if you get in an accident, unless you're hitting the rear, you're parked, there's a likelihood where they're gonna basically assign who's more or less responsible.
Exactly.
For the
I've
loss,
had
correct?
cases where people would come in and they're like, "Oh, they're putting me at 20% at fault," and
Bingo.
yada yada. And I'm like, "No, not at all. Not
And you were
happening."
able to change that.
And I was able to change
All right.
that. Opened claims, reopened claims from claims that were closed, and said, "We're denying it. Absolutely not.
Right.
Here's some evidence. We did our own research. We did our own investigating.
Our own research,
and
investigating.
we were able to get that resolved."
Right. Folks,
On
you're
the-
not
on the favor
you're
of
not getting this anywhere else. Okay, you're gonna get a girl, maybe even a guy, and they're gonna take down. And when our customers come in, we have a formal process, right? We have a sheet.
Absolutely.
They fill out some paperwork, and we fill out some different things to gather some facts and everything, and that's fine. And then you're gonna get that at most shops. That's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get maybe a dingbat or maybe somebody that's got halfway on the ball or something.
Okay.
And they're gonna take stuff down and how you doing? Blah blah blah. Okay, I'm gonna get I'm going to get the next idiot that's up, and he's going to talk to you a little bit, and that's it. All right, and that's not the case here, and it's very, very important. I can't emphasize that enough. Of what this is another to me. I really feel
We spend countless time.
yes, you
times
do. You really do.
with one-on-one with our customers.
Yes, they really do, folks.
And I know I can tell you there are. If you look at our reviews, that will tell you in itself.
Right.
If you look at our reviews on Google, Yelp, any of those,
Right.
you will see
Or even
Facebook.
even some of our even a lot of our manufacturer partners, right? Like Tesla.
You will see Donna
You go on the
and
Tesla
Jackie.
site, you go on the Rivian
Yes.
site, you'll see customers.
Yes,
customers
absolutely.
will be constantly complimenting V&J Auto Body, and in a lot of instances, specifically Donna and Jackie.
Absolutely.
All right, for the legwork that they do. Now, you're not going to get that anywhere
No,
else, folks.
not at all.
And I'm not saying this to blow smoke up your ass or because I work there or Donna works there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that from 30 years of experience in this industry on the insurance side and now 10 years on the body shop side. All right, it's simply not happening out
Yeah,
there.
I
And
have people compliment and say they've never seen anything like this. That you're sitting here with me for countless, it could be countless hours.
right.
And just to make sure that I have everything that I need to, get that
Right.
customer in a rental when their car's not safe to drive.
Right. Well, and that's another thing.
know?
Okay. And I've talked to the folks about that. Right. Explain that to them, folks. Whatever I said time and time again about that. Right. What's not safe to you might be safe to somebody else. All right. Well, the same thing applies with the insurance company. All right. And when I say they look for ways to cut costs one way or another, well, guess what? Rental, that is a place that they've identified is a key feature or a key what they call an opportunity point. All right. To identify an opportunity cost that they can really effectively trim the fat, so to speak, is on the rental area. And if you don't have somebody like Donna, all right, that has the experience both in dealing with the insurance company and understanding the rental, and it's not rental. Okay, and understand this. I've talked about it. It's not rental. It's not rental insurance, folks. It's rental reimbursement. All right, you're being reimbursed. It's a big difference. That means they're not paying the full boat, and that means they're not guaranteeing anything. They're simply saying, as you rent the car, we'll give you some money. All right, that's what the policy said. It doesn't say rental insurance. Big difference. But what Donna talks about right here is very important, all right? Because rental is an area that the insurance companies have identified as a very significant point for them to try and attack aggressively and cut costs. And we all know why. And listen, and realistically, when I was working there, I got it. It is an abused area.
Yeah.
It's a very abused area. Okay, so understandably, the insurance company is going to be very aggressive. Now, that's where you need somebody like Donna who understands that and is going to be a good advocate for you in defining why it is that you need to be in it. You can't just turn around, they need to be in a rental. Why? Well, because I said so. They don't give a shit. You said so? Well, guess what? I say no.
Right.
All right, that's what I used to do. When I was handling claims, I had a body shop say to me, well, I got to put them in a rental. Why? Well, we're going to get working on the car. Okay, well, it says here that the door was hit and that's it. Yeah, but I'm not authorizing it. Well, you have to. I'm not. Okay, I'm the claim rep. There you go. Not authorizing it. When it gets in the shop and my guy sees the car and you start the repair, I'll authorize the rental from that point forward. Now, I used to get cursed out and everything. No problem. I hang up the phone. I'm still not paying. So nothing was accomplished. She yelled at me, cursed at me, and called me a jackass and this. I didn't give a shit. I wasn't paying him. Donna, on the other hand, is going to get that rental paid for, correct?
Correct. And then if you're a claimant And even if you're driving around an SUV and you have kids with car seats and whatever have you and a big family, I'm going to accommodate you to the best of my ability based off of your property damage limits.
Right, and their
needs that I am going to get that taken care of for you.
Now, and how is it that you're going to do that? Are you going to beat them up? Are you going to badger them? Are you going to call them a jackass like I used to get called?
Absolutely not. I'm just going to I'm just going to tell them straight out that this is what the customer. Them telling what the customer needs.
Right.
Okay, to be able to go about their day, since they were the victim here, and they're the ones that were, their car is in the shop, and they need to go about their day and do what they need to do and accommodate their family size.
Right, but when it comes to the actual rental itself, Donna is able to objectively qualify why it is that this individual needs to be in a rental.
And I will let them know, and we're very successful with that.
Right. So a lot of other shops might turn around and the insurance guys and say, well, I don't give a shit. You're not getting in the car. Donna,
we have an explanation as to why that person needs the car.
Objective explanation.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, this isn't just, this is bullshit. I need that. No. They need to be in the folks, that don't work. All right. I used to get that. Like I said, yours truly did that job. It doesn't work, and you go back and forth. At the end of the day, guess what? I have the pen, I have the check, and you're not getting any money. Okay. But with Donna, I have to say, I would find it very, very difficult. All right. At the least, to probably deny the rental, because Donna is very constructive in how she approaches the problem, and she can, what I just said, she objectively qualifies why they need to be in it.
Absolutely.
Right?
And we get it done.
And what do we mean by objectively qualifying?
That we're going to explain to them the reasoning for why they need this type of rental.
Right. Donna's going to give them a logical.
I'm not just going to demand it.
Right. You're going to she's going to explain to them. She's going to give them a reasonable, logical reason why. So if it's hitting the door won't open, the mirror's hanging off, the taillight don't work, the bumper's hanging off.
The exhaust is compromised.
The exhaust is loose. All right. It's hitting the wheel. Folks, these are objectable things that people hear and then they internalize, and they're able to say, oh, you know what? I guess you're right.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. All right. So I think we're going to wrap things up there. All right. We want to thank Donna.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you.
I hope I was as informative.
I think
as
you
Pete
were.
Would say.
I think you were. I think the folks really got a lot out of this. I want to thank you for coming on down here and taking part in the show.
It was my pleasure. I had fun.
Yeah, I did too. We had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got a lot of useful conversation in there.
Absolutely.
All right. And, folks, while I tie things up here, remember, always say no to photo inspections. All right. We don't want to do any photo inspections. And if you get in an accident, there's only one place you need to be. That's V&J Auto Body. All right. Located in beautiful downtown Lindenhurst. You can reach them at 631-226-0070. All right. Simply give us a call. We have in-house towing. We go anywhere, anytime. Yes. Doesn't matter. Out of state, in-state, interstate. We'll come get you. It doesn't matter what time of day.
We have a rental in-house.
We have a rental agent right in-house, ready to serve you. And, of course, we have Donna and Jackie, two consummate professionals in the industry that are going to be able to handle your case from start to finish. Folks, I hope you got a lot out of the show. I hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one.